everybody, Maci here. So for this week's video, I thought I would share my experience as a seat filler for this year's Grammys. So if you're not familiar with what a seat filler is, essentially they attend shows like these and are usually not paid in order to make an audience look full because it looks better on camera. Congrats to the shoutout winner of this week's video. If you want to get a shoutout in next week's or the next video, I've been busy, I'm sorry. Be sure to comment down below your favorite part from the Grammys and I might choose you for the next shoutout. So starting off with how I got the ticket. So back in October of 2018, I organized my club to attend a seat filler event as a fundraiser through Seat Fillers and More for their Elvis Presley tribute event. So after the show was over, they announced that they would be choosing random winners to attend the Grammys as seat fillers, and somehow I was chosen. It was a great day. So fast forward to a few weeks prior to the Grammys, Seat Fillers and More had me register for the tickets and told me that since they have my information, they'd instantly approve me for the ticket. Since they traditionally hold a sort of lottery to choose random seat fillers to attend the event. They then emailed me information on where to park, what to wear, what time I should get there, and all that necessary information. So the day of the Grammys, I was in downtown LA at around 1:30 p.m. We didn't get in until 4:30, so it was pretty long just standing around in the cold. I was freezing because I was just wearing my prom dress and it was around 50 degrees. So fast forward a few more hours later, we weren't seated until right before the show began, which was 5 o'clock. So it was said that the first hour of the show will be difficult to find seats, but later on, artists may leave after they've won or lost, because to them, there's really no point in staying throughout the entire show, and that just leaves more seats for us. Right before the show started, I was in the left center section, since I believe there were like 4 sections. So left center, 5th row, so you could see Tony Bennett, and I remember passing by Heidi Klum, like, cash. But then literally like a few seconds before the show started, I was moved, which is okay, to around row 10. So I was still in like the left center, but just moved back a few rows, which I actually did not mind because that was when Shawn Mendes was performing on the piano in that little stage. So I was essentially 6 people away from Shawn Mendes. After that act, I was moved again, and I could not find another seat, unfortunately. So I essentially sat in the holding area for about 2 acts, and the holding area is still inside the Staples Center. It's just that it's the spot behind the stage with all of the cameras, so if you're seated behind that stage, you can't see anything, but there is a TV, like a flat screen TV with whatever is going on stage, so you're not really missing out, but you're still missing out. I can't emphasize this enough, but if you're ever a seat filler, it doesn't have to be just for the Grammys, but at least for events like this, you have to be aggressive. Within reason. You can't wait in the holding area for the audience coordinators to come to you and get you and grant you a seat. You have to get yourself up and go over there and find yourself a seat, or at least show that you are there because you're identified by your green ribbon so they can spot you and grab you a seat. Because if you just wait in the back, you will forever stay in the back and you will never get a good seat. I have heard of this, but it's nice to see it with my own eyes. Most of the audience members are actually executives in the music industry, or they just work in the industry and they brought their family. So it truly was a great networking opportunity if you want to work in the music business. So I brought my business cards just in case. Another interesting thing, which totally makes sense if you think about it, is that a majority of the nominees will be seated in the center aisles, just because it's easier for them to get up and walk to the stage if they win. As for the presenters, most of the time they will be seated more towards the side sections. I know that was the case for like Leon Bridges, BTS, and okay, just a side note, I finally understand why so many people love them, and I like their music, but I wouldn't consider myself to be a super fan, but let me tell you, they are truly beautiful in real life. Like, sure, they have makeup on, whatever, but I can see why they're so big right now. Besides, you know, like their talent and their music, but they are beautiful, like, wow. So as I said previously, as time goes on, you're more likely to find a more permanent seat just because more people are leaving. So my permanent seat was around row 10, row 11 or 12, somewhere around there, and I was on the far left section of the floor. And I basically had the whole row to myself, save for like a few other seat fillers, just because that entire row, basically, they left and they weren't gonna come back. Some of the other seat fillers around me were more willing to risk their good seat, which was around where I was, in order to get a closer seat and possibly be in the center section, which I was considering doing, but at the same time, I didn't mind where I was just because I knew that I would be able to stay in that place the entire rest of the show. It's just that if you go and try to get a better seat, you do risk the chance of losing your seat, and then you might have to go back into the holding area, which I did not want to do at all. But it's interesting because even though you are seated not as close to celebrities, like a few rows down, I remember seeing Meghan Trainor, Robin Thicke, Tony Bennett passed by a few times, so did Quincy Jones. As I said, BTS passed by. Anna Kendrick for sure. It's funny because I'm pretty sure I saw Shawn Mendes like walk past, because this was when I was in the holding area. I was like, oh my god, like he's going to the right side, so I'm gonna follow after him. So I tried following him, but there were no seats like around him, so it's okay. I mean, there's other opportunities to be around Shawn Mendes, but that was just not my time. That was not our time. So the show finished at around 8:30, 8:45. After it was over, basically everyone was kind of like talking to each other, or some were just leaving. It's funny because you can tell who are the seat fillers or who are the tourists. For about 5 to 10 minutes after the Grammys, everyone was taking photos like on the stage, because you can get close to the stage. You can't be on the stage, I think. You can just tell because obviously people who are in the music industry, they don't really care so much to take a photo there. But overall, like, I highly recommend trying it out for yourself if you're ever in the area. And I know you have to be 18 and up to attend these events, but it's truly an amazing experience. Especially as someone who is really interested in going into the entertainment industry, it's incredibly fascinating to see how shows like these are conducted. So that is basically it for my storytime / experience video. I don't know what this would be considered. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can do so by clicking on that subscribe button down below. And please turn on my notifications by clicking on that cute little bell so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye!